Hi guys, this is day number 47 of my 365 Livestream challenge, and today I want to kind of summarize everything I told you about how to find, cooperate, work, and launch your software with software development agency when you hire a software development agency. This is kind of beginner's guide on how to work with a software development agency to create your software. So you're a small business owner. Now you decided that you want to create that custom built software, be it a kind of tool to automate your internal process and save tons of time, or maybe just a tech startup that you, the kind of software product SaaS that you want to upsell to existing clients and make and create a new recurring revenue stream. Whatever is the reason, let's imagine you now have that idea that you want to do, and what are specific steps. Let me summarize in all of these steps in this one live stream. Okay, so here I prepared for us like 3 stages. You kind of know about them already. I won't get deeper into again one more time to how you find that software development agency or software developers development team. First step is basically to prepare. Like the whole process consists of 3 steps, 3 big stages. First step is basically prepare that software blueprint, how I call it, where you define what you want to build, the scope, when you want to launch it, the timeline, how you want to do this, like some technical challenges, technical stack, and all the other small details, and how much you want to spend on it, the budget definition. After you have all these identified, this is a good time to go to the second stage, which is MVP development. And to get it all this kind of software blueprint, I mentioned multiple times that there's something like discovery phase, or how we have it in our agency software startup workshop, that you need to go for. And for smallest project within our agency, it takes around 1 week. For bigger projects, longer weeks, and sometimes even month. So after you have this software blueprint, you go to the second biggest. This is probably the biggest step so far, and this is MVP development and launch. Basically, here you have again like 3 main things that you want to follow, so that your cooperation with developers is smooth. Basically, it's you don't know that development agency in most cases yet. You just need to get to know them, their process, communication style. Even after software development, like some software startup workshop, like we have, it's still like the small paid service you got from them within just 1 week. You still will have to learn a lot, and first couple weeks, sprints, and sometimes even months are like the hardest. It depends on your project size, of course, but they are the hardest in your cooperation. Once you know their style, you know they know you, it becomes easier to cooperate, right? So that's why I suggest to work in 2 week sprints, so that you plan 2 weeks. Yeah, you would ask why I need to plan anything once I have this software blueprint, software startup workshop, because on that um, during the development, some things will still change, and once you start the development, the design and development, you need to go like and review all this tasks one more time now to every small detail. You cannot discuss every small detail for the 1 hour, 1 year project, right? Where like it's going to be like 1,000 hours to be put into this, right? So you are discussing every small bit, every small task to every hour of that task, or in 2 weeks chunks. Okay. So here a couple like sets of ceremonies, how we call it, like sprint ceremonies. Like every 2 weeks, you need to, for example, with new clients, we invoice them every 2 weeks with a prepayment for these hours for that chunk of work. We also set up the project management system, right? Maybe I have some example for you prepared here. I know nothing is closed. So I actually showed you, probably if you're following me since the very beginning, one whole month or even more already, you will probably you probably seen that. So we set up the financials so that our client risks not more than 2 weeks, and we risk not more than 2 weeks. So we go with 2 weeks prepayments, and then we set up the project management system, and we have milestone sprint setup tasks for one sprint for 2 weeks there every time, and we also estimate and track spend time on daily basis, all in our project management system. So these are couple ceremonies, sprint basis. At the beginning of the sprints, we also have backlog grooming, and at the end of the sprint, sprint, we have the demo call or demo, just dropping the link, a demo setup, and client will check on him or her own. Depends on the relations, on the level of the client, and on the complexity of the project, how much time do we have there. And then we have weekly ceremonies, which we are basically 3 of them. Every Monday we have tons of calls. Greens are project management calls. Like for each of the project, we have team call, internal. Some team calls are external with the with clients included. Depends on the client preferences, and this is basically up to 1 hour call where we just get updates from each team member, what they've been doing last week, what they're going to do next week, and after that we are sending our client every Monday like update what been done and some questions that are blocking us from doing the work this week. Then in the middle of the week we have midweek checkpoint, which is completely like internal process. Clients don't need to do this, don't need to know anything about this, but this kind of midweek report where we just make sure that we are going according to weekly plan, so that by Friday we are not surprised that something is missing, right? And then on Friday we're getting final report from our team members. Again, in text we do only Monday calls, and other calls are random. If it's really necessary, we try to avoid too many calls. We don't allow having like daily stand-up meetings like in real Scrum. We do agile plus modification of Scrum. And then on every Friday, same way as we do on Monday, we update our clients with the progress that been done that week. Something like, let me check, something like that may be part of that. So we are touching this is done, have a nice weekend, and every Friday we have that report for every client. Most our clients are within our Slack channels. Those that don't want to be part of Slack, it's too much for them, we just communicate with them over email. Yeah, that's how it works. And basically this is our weekly ceremonies. Monday, status update, call, meeting, and update for the client. Midweek report check on Wednesday, and Friday demo demo and update depending on where we are. If it's end of the sprint, it all will also be demo call. If it's just middle of the sprint, first week of that sprint, that is just update for the client, weekly update, what been done this week. And finally, after we launch the MVP, now we are entering post-release support phase, and it's all about like setting up hosting and production, calculating the cost that we are going to spend with our client, the software founder, on supporting that software, like hosting wise, and from development perspective, setting up some user support channels like intercom software, etc., setting up some monitoring tools, performance monitoring, uptime performing, for example, agreeing on the next steps, how we want to support. Usually we support with monthly support retainers. On subscription basis we have 20, 40, and up to 80 hours plan. If it's more than that the project requires, we call it full-time project, active development, and we don't need like monthly retainer. We just developers available there daily, so we don't have any problems with that. The only thing is that usually with our monthly support retainer we include 24/7 uptime guarantee, so that our clients, our founders, sleep well during the night hours on the weekends, and are ensured that we will take care of their websites if they go down by any reason, and we'll get them back within just 1 hour or so. So these are 3 stages that this kind of beginner's guide. If you haven't launched your software yet and you don't know how it should work with software development agency, these are 3 stages you need to go through to make sure you have all in place. And ideally, when you just do the software blueprint first phase, you want to make sure that that same team will have enough post-release support services for you. If they don't love to support because it's too small for them, probably that's not a good thing for you to do, because who would be happy with finishing and supporting something that other team developed? Yeah, it's like often like it goes, but ideally before you start developing with that team, make sure that they have provides post-release support services. Okay, so this is beginner's guide from me. I hope that will be useful for you, and will help you avoid mistakes as first-time software founder. If you have any other questions regarding this process, this beginner's guide, please comment below this video, and thank you for watching. See you tomorrow, and remember, people need your software.